remember that picture. Oh my God, that was
Welcome to the Gridiron Grind Live Dallas Cowboys post-game show. Cowboys get it done. They bounce back. Super Bowl is back on, Jimmy. Cowboys win 38-3. Dominating performance over the New England Patriots.
Handle their business, Trey. You and I talked about what Cowboys team is this going to be? Is it going to be the team that laid the big old stink on the field against Arizona, dashing hopes, or are we going to right the ship and really take this to the next level? We found out today, Trey.
We definitely did.
Back on.
Super Bowl's back on. Las Vegas trip is for first weekend of February is back on. You're listening to the Cowboy Creta, biggest Cowboy fan there is, with Jimmy G. Get your comments in, and we'll get to the chat as the Cowboys bounce back 38-3. What a performance. Cowboys defense, 3 turnovers, 18 points off 3 turnovers. That defense was back to being elite tonight.
Yeah, they were. They got to the quarterback. We created turnovers, and most importantly, we figured out how to score, Trey. Figured out how to score points. Got
in the red zone, yeah.
Got in the red zone, like you said, 18 points off 3 turnovers. It's pretty good. I'm no mathologist, but that's a touchdown, averaging a touchdown per turnover. So you're going to win a lot of ball games.
I think it's pretty good. I got my America's team sunglasses on. Yeah, we're no mathologists, but that's pretty good. Let's get to some stats. Get the chats in. Get on the chat comments there on the YouTube video. We're live on YouTube. Be out for another 10 minutes. Get your chats in, and we'll address some of the questions. Jimmy, when you look at some of the stats, pretty efficient. Cowboys, 22 first downs. They had 377 total yards, averaging 5.5 yards a play, 253 yards. Pretty efficient game for Dak Prescott. Did throw a couple questionable balls. Looked like he was colorblind a few times. You know who is colorblind? Pretty sure Mac Jones threw it right to the Cowboys a couple different times. But Dak back on the efficient train, very efficient, 253 yards and a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah, and again, no turnovers for Dak. That's one thing that's improved a lot this year so far. This Tex Coast offense really putting Dak in positions to succeed, not turn the ball over. And like I said, man, we don't turn the ball over. We're a pretty good football team.
Yeah, we are. We are. Play complementary football. I mean, 3 games they've looked on. Look like one of the best teams in the league. 38-3 is the score. Cowboys over the Patriots. Sets up a huge game next week on the road, Sunday Night Football against the San Francisco 49ers. Let's get to the comment section. AJ Anderson, is this going to happen or what? It's going to happen. I'm assuming he's talking about the Cowboys in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yes, Cowboys in the Super Bowl. That is going to happen. Greg Millerick, word is that Trey was cheering against the Cowboys. Untrue. I'm Cowboy Creta, biggest fan of the Cowboys there is. I was rooting against the points. Might have had a little bit on the under 43 as a Jimmy. Who needs enemies when you got friends like we got rooting against us on that under 43?
Never in doubt, though.
Never in doubt. We're broadcasting live. People ask, we're broadcasting live for our buddy Grayson's house. Shout out to the Riddles, Grayson, Sam having us over. The spread today, phenomenal.
I love Fruit Tray, man. They had an assortment of berries. Also, Mount Rushmore of underrated foods, mini corn dogs.
Dude, the mini corn dogs.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for those because next week, Texas OU, Cotton Bowl, the corn dogs. I'm going to eat those all week. Got a little primer for that. The underrated appetizers of mini corn dogs.
Love it. Yeah, it was a great spread. Like I said, it was phenomenal. Great crowd, great vibe. And want to thank Grayson and Sam and Lang Riddles Veterinary Clinic for having us over.
Yeah, shout out Lang Veterinary Clinic. Let's see. Back to some more questions. Are you a Cowboys fan or Patriots fan? 100% Cowboys fan. Cowboy Creta here, number 1 Cowboys fan. Just wasn't a fan of points. Creta's not a full-blown Cowboys fan. Untrue. Loser, poser. Creta, tell the audience how you cheer for the Patriots. Why wasn't cheering for the Patriots? Just wasn't cheering for points there in the fourth quarter.
Here we go. Here's a good one. Raymond Gabriel Terrell. Van Der Esch had a much better game. And what happened to Belichick's game plan? The Cowboys are what happened. It turns out Mac Jones is not good. And they got Billy quick release Zappy in there as quick as they could. I think defensive Dan Quinn had his number today, Trey. Executed it really well. Like I said, Mac Jones, 150 yards, 2 interceptions, only 12 completions, 21 attempts. And then A.J. Anderson, is Max Jones benched forever? I don't know who Max Jones is, but Mac Jones, I don't know if he's benched forever, but Trey, I think at this
Belichick
point,
looked very unhappy with him.
yeah, I think you got to see what else is out there. And, maybe the Patriots are in the Caleb Williams race.
Maybe so. I mean,
Make some trades and
they don't
Go get
look
him a
like a good
quarterback.
football team to me. I'll
No.
tell you that. The Patriots don't. They got more problems, I think, than the quarterback situation. But back to Raymond Gabe Terrell's question, what happened to Belichick's game plan? It's like Mike Tyson said, everybody has a game plan until they get punched in the mouth. And the Cowboys punched the Patriots in the mouth pretty early, and the Patriots couldn't recover. I mean, 3 turnovers, turned 18 points off of those 3 turnovers. Hard to win football games like that and make it life easier when you get points off turnovers like that. I mean, the Cowboys, it's remarkable. Games 1, 2, and 3, or 1, 2, and 4. I mean, it was a copyright. Just the defense was dominant. Dak was efficient. That Cardinals game, I mean, I'm hoping that was the outlier as the Cowboys got back on track, winning 38-3.
Well, that's what the Cowboys needed, Trey, was that big wake-up call. They went in kind of cocky, overconfident. All these guys say, oh, well, we don't listen to the news, the media, the sports. Yeah, they do. If they don't listen to it directly, somebody's in there telling them what they said. And they went into that game going, we're going to kill them. We're the Cowboys. They suck. Then it got us bit. And they came out today, all business, and took care of business.
Next question, will the Cowboys beat the Niners next week? That's a tough one. I mean, we have struggled against the Niners. Obviously, the last 2 years in the playoffs, they've had our number, and we've talked about it. We don't understand how Brock Purdy has turned into the quarterback that he has, but he's become a solid quarterback for the Niners. They look unstoppable right now. Christian McCaffrey had 4 touchdowns on the day for the Niners. It's going to be tough. I mean, people were asking earlier what the line's going to be. If I had to guess, I would say maybe 6. Niners favored by 6, maybe 7, 7.5. I don't know. It's hard to see the Cowboys beat the Niners next week in San Francisco, but we get a defense like this, we get a performance like we got tonight. It's possible with this type of defense creating turnovers.
Got to stop Christian McCaffrey. There's a great question. How do you stop the 49ers scheme? You get to the quarterback, get him long in the chains. That's how you stop really any team. But you can't let Brock Purdy get comfortable, and you definitely can't let McCaffrey have 3 touchdowns in the first half and go off like he's been going off. Got to figure out a way. They got Debo, they got Ayuk, of course, George Kittle. Got to figure out a way to stop those guys. But if we get to the quarterback and put them in 3rd and long, get them behind the chains, I think we got a good chance.
How do you stop their scheme? I mean, just look at what we did in the playoffs last year. We only gave up 12 points last year, and 6 of those was off 2 Dak interceptions.
Right.
So I'd do exactly what we did last year. You take away Christian McCaffrey. It starts with McCaffrey. He is the catalyst of their offense, both in the run game and in the pass game. You got to control him, and then you got to make Brock Purdy beat you. And I'd like to think if we're going to hold them to 12, 13 points again like we did last year, we can win that football game. Last year we didn't, but I would do the same thing again, and I think the Cowboys can get to 20 on them. It's just Purdy's better than I think he was in the playoff game last year. He didn't really hurt us, but I think he's a little bit further along in his development than he was back in January. But I would do that. I'd do it kind of base it off the game plan we used in the playoffs last year.
I agree. Like I said, got to stop Christian McCaffrey. I love this question right here. Arthur Julius Anderson says, is Taylor Swift good for football? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Anything that distracts, anything that adds another distraction to that team is good for football, at least for Cowboys football. And then
because you know what it's going to do? I mean, Brittany Mahomes is not going to like all the star power Taylor Swift is going to get. So she's going to do something stupid and try to shine the light on her.
Yep.
I think she's great. It's gonna be great because I think we're gonna have a little off the field infighting between the Swifties and then Brittany Mahomes.
Yeah, and Travis Swift or Kelsey, sorry. Like I said, you take him away from the Chiefs offense, and we've seen how ineffective Mahomes is without Kelsey and Tyreek Hill. So yeah, I think it's good for football. It's good for Cowboys football because again, it's finally not a distraction on us. Like when Romo had Jessica Simpson, and then who else Romo had? He had Simpson, and he had
Carrie Underwood.
Carrie Underwood, yep, that's right. So yeah, I think it's good.
Question in the comments here. We got about 2 more minutes left in the chat. Get your questions in. Also, you can hit us up all week, gridirongrindsports.com. Our college football podcast comes out on Wednesdays. Usually drops around noon on YouTube channel and on Apple Podcasts. And then on Thursday, our Dallas Cowboys NFL pod, Thursdays at noon on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. Question: who is y'all's favorite NFL commentary team? That's funny enough. We discussed that during the game today. You know, I was a big Joe Buck, Troy Aikman fan. But yeah, I mean, back when we were on radio, tough to beat Creta 3 and Jimmy G. You know, I used to like Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, but since they moved to Monday night, I don't like them as much. I don't know. Maybe still them, I guess, but it feels a little different with them on Monday nights. Greg Olson and Kevin Burkhardt are great in that Fox 325 window.
They do a good job. Yeah, I still go with Troy and Joe Buck. Me personally.
All right. Well, let's see if we got any more questions rolling in. Any good straight winners for next week you'd like to share? I don't know about NFL. I do like some early lines came out in college football already. Texas is a 5-point favorite over Oklahoma early. I like that one. I can see that one getting to 7 pretty quickly. Alabama's a 4-point favorite over A&M. That's an interesting line.
Bills and Jaguars. The Jaguars go back to London again.
That game's in London. They're going to go back-to-back in London?
Go back to London again next Sunday and play the Buffalo Bills.
What's that line?
Don't know yet. Let me see if I can get it.
I would be interested in the Jaguars back in London, Buffalo. So I'm sure Jacksonville's staying over there. I mean, you got to factor in
Buffalo 4.5.
I'd consider the Jaguars plus 4.5.
It's a home game.
Yeah, and they're staying over. You got to factor the travel the Bills are doing that the Jaguars aren't having to do.
Right.
That's an early look. And then if the Cowboys are more than a touchdown, I'm definitely taking the Cowboys. If it's 7 or 7.5, I'd look at taking the Cowboys. So, all right.
Oh, 3.5. The initial line is out. 49ers minus 3.5. Take Dallas.
It's a little tighter. You think? Well, if you're going to do that,
Dallas.
you almost take Dallas money line.
Yeah, you got to take a money line because we're going to win that game. We're going to put the NFL on notice. As long as we don't play the Cardinals, we're fine.
Yeah, I mean, Cardinals are probably second best team in the league, or maybe the best. You know, Cowboys second best. We'll play them in the NFC Championship or something.
They're definitely the best worst team in the league.
They're pretty good. They gave the Niners a fight today.
Yep.
But Cowboys bounced back, 38-3 victory over the Patriots. Jimmy did the gridiron grind. He gave the under.
Yep.
And so that hit. So we got all our plays in for the gridiron grind. Had a good week. Anyway, that'll do it for the live post-game show. Cowboys win 38-3. And we'll be back Wednesday. College football podcast, YouTube and Apple Podcasts. Wednesdays at noon. And then Thursdays at noon drops NFL and Cowboys podcast. So thanks for listening. We'll be back next week, late night after the Niners game. It'll be late, but we'll have it live on YouTube. Of course, it automatically records and saves. We get a lot of people who watch it after we record live. So jump on our YouTube channel and watch it then. Jimmy G, I'm Creta 3. Thanks for joining us. Go Cowboys.
Go
Big victory over
Cowboys.
the Patriots. See you guys.
Okay, my girls, we did go. I pick up.